Let's take a peek inside the green level of my special education reading intervention. With all of my reading interventions, you'll notice that the left-hand side of the page contains our passage and some comprehension questions. This really stays the same every single day. What we're doing on day 1 is the same thing that we're doing on day 4, only with a new passage or new questions and comprehension skill. But on the right-hand side of the page then, this rotates through a variety of skills. We have some grammar, some writing, some fluency, other things then that our students need to work on. So with this, we always start out by reading our passage, and we read it 3 times, and we do this in a variety of ways. Maybe I read it to them, maybe we echo read, maybe we take turns reading, maybe we whisper read. There are lots of different ways that we can get 3 reads through this. And then after we've read it 3 times, we come and we answer some comprehension questions. Now with some of these, they're basic recall questions. Some of these are more difficult. It just kind of depends on the passage, the time of year, that kind of thing. And then we work on some comprehension skills and strategies at the bottom. This will change, and I love to use pictures to help cue the students as to, oh, 3 question marks, we need to come up with 3 questions. Okay, so what am I going to say about fast food? Or what am I going to say about eating out? Things like that. And you'll notice that each day has different pictures. Sometimes they repeat depending on the skills that are best utilized by that passage. But we always answer comprehension questions and begin looking at some comprehension skills and strategies. And so while that's all well and good, a lot of times that's where reading interventions stop. We just do that. And I think that getting our kids to be able to write and apply some of the phonics skills that we read about, or some of the words that were included into our writing, is also important. So we always have mixed up sentences, some sentence dictation, and then we always have a grammar skill each and every week. On day 2, instead of a mixed up sentence, they will circle 3 mistakes or 4 mistakes depending on the week or what that sentence happens to be. And then I let them draw a picture of usually whatever they want. The only catch is that whatever our grammar skill was the day before, I asked them to then kind of apply it to their writing. So we were talking about subjects, so you can write about whatever you want and draw a picture about whatever you want, but I'm going to ask you to find the subjects in your writing after you're done. And a lot of times I use post-it notes to give students words that they don't know, or if I can, I'll underline it in the story so that they can copy that. We take time to work on pounding our decodable words. So if they ask to spell something and it's like, oh, well, you know what, that was a spelling word 2 weeks ago. Let's see if we can pound that together. And we would say those sounds and see if we can figure out how to spell that word. Then the next day we go back to having a mixed up sentence. So they're going to work on saying, oh, well, I see that this has a capital letter. So that's my only word with a capital letter. It must be first. Clean, clean, healthy? Nope, that has a period at the end, so it's got to be the last word, and kind of getting that sentence in order. We also do a fluency check where I set my timer on my phone for about 30 seconds or a minute, kind of depending on the level of your students. Even just, will they be frustrated if they don't finish the passage? Will they be done if it's more than a minute, or more than 30 seconds? 30 seconds for most of my groups is what I use. And we read the passage once, and we talk a lot about growth mindset. We talk a lot about, I shouldn't read all 64 words the first time. We're going to, I might need help with this word. I might need help with that word as we read. And each and every time we get better, because practice helps us get better. Then here we're back to what are the subjects. And so we might X out what are those subjects. Who is this about? That kind of thing. And then we work on restating and answering the question. And so initially, this is tricky for a lot of kids. What is clean eating? Clean eating is. Stealing those words is incredibly hard, but with weekly practice, we can really get there and get them to be able to restate and answer a question. Again, Day 4, we're going to read our passage, answer our questions, work on a comprehension skill or strategy, and then we're going to come and find the mistakes in the sentence. We're going to go back to reading a fluency passage 3 different times. We're going to find words with a long E and highlight them, and usually then after they highlight, then I'll ask them to whisper read those words to themselves so that I can kind of listen in and see, yeah, he notices EA, but he doesn't have a clue what EA actually says to decode the word. I can see who has a lot of these words memorized but doesn't actually know how to do the decoding side of things. So overall, there are a lot of skills that really help our students grow and learn. For me, all of my 3rd graders this last year who were working in this level passed our statewide testing because I think it is rigorous. It starts out slow but quickly intensifies. In the later half of the school year, they're answering open-ended questions and doing things that are a little more complex. Now, maybe you're wondering, why fast food? Why is this called eating out, or cheap and easy, or clean eating? Well, those words came from the vowel team spelling list that's located also in my TPT store. And so for week 1, which this is also week 1, you'll notice that we have the word eat, meat, that's a word that's used in there several times, cheap, cheat, clean, clean eating, lean food. So those words lend themselves very well to be used in a passage about food. And so that's exactly what we do to help tie that all together.